There was a mall in the heart of the city, once bustling with life but now abandoned, left to decay. The New Horizons Mall had closed down 10 years ago after a series of mysterious disappearances. One night, 5 friends, Emily, Jason, Sarah, Tom, and Lisa, decided to explore the mall, lured by the tales of its haunted past. They entered through a broken side door, the hinges creaking ominously. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Flashlights in hand, they wandered through the vast emptiness, their footsteps echoing in the silence. "Look at this," Jason said, pointing to a faded map of the mall. "The food court should be this way." As they made their way through the deserted corridors, strange things began to happen. The lights flickered sporadically, and they heard distant whispers, too soft to understand. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. They reached the food court, a vast area with overturned chairs and tables. The once vibrant storefronts were now just dark, gaping holes. Suddenly a loud crash echoed from somewhere nearby. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. "Probably just an animal," Tom suggested, though his face betrayed his unease. "Let's check it out," Emily said, her curiosity piqued, despite the growing fear. They followed the sound, leading them to a toy store with its door ajar. Inside, they found broken toys scattered across the floor, and in the middle of the room, an old-fashioned carousel, eerily intact. Its painted horses looked almost lifelike in the beam of their flashlights. "Why is this still here?" Lisa asked, her voice shaky. As if in response, the carousel began to turn slowly, music playing from somewhere deep within its mechanisms. The friends stood frozen, watching as the horses moved up and down, their glassy eyes seeming to follow them. "We need to leave," Sarah said, backing away. But as they turned to go, they found the door they had entered through was gone. In its place was a solid wall. "What's happening?" Jason shouted, pounding on the wall. This was the way out. Panic set in. They ran through the mall, trying to retrace their steps, but every turn led them deeper into the labyrinth. The layout seemed to shift, hallways stretching endlessly and looping back on themselves. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and shadows moved just beyond the reach of their lights. Hours passed, or perhaps it was days. Time seemed to lose meaning. Hunger and thirst gnawed at them, but there was no food, no water, only the oppressive darkness and the unrelenting sense of being watched. One by one, they started to vanish. First, it was Tom. He was there one moment, and the next, he was gone, his flashlight lying on the ground where he had stood. Then Lisa disappeared, her scream echoing through the mall. Emily, Jason, and Sarah clung to each other, but exhaustion took its toll. Sarah succumbed next, taken by unseen hands. Emily and Jason were the last, wandering the endless corridors. They stumbled into a department store, its mannequins dressed in rotting clothes. As they rested, trying to catch their breath, the mannequins' heads slowly turned to face them. "We need to keep moving," Jason urged, pulling Emily to her feet. But it was too late. The mannequins stepped off their pedestals, moving with jerky, unnatural motions. Emily screamed as cold hands grabbed her, dragging her into the darkness. Jason fought to free her, but he too was overwhelmed. The mall reclaimed its silence, the whispers fading into nothingness. New Horizons Mall stood empty once more, waiting for the next curious souls to enter its maw. Years later, urban explorers would tell stories of hearing faint screams and seeing ghostly figures in the abandoned mall. But no one who entered ever found a way out. The mall was a trap, a living entity that fed on the curiosity and fear of those who dared to explore its depths. And so it remained, a silent predator in the heart of the city, forever hungry, forever waiting.